Hello, Refashionista Sheri here again, and today I am showing you 6 stunningly, fantastically, spooktacular DIYs that use nothing new. You're going to just be using what you already have or things that you can easily maybe pinch it from a friend or pop on down to the thrift shop, or maybe you even have things in your garbage that you're going to use. But this is 6 items that you can make like right now using what you have to make what you want, which is more proof that you do not have to ever buy anything new to be beautiful. Of course you get it. That was terrible, and I apologize. That was a terrible punny joke. Anyway, before we jump in, please hit that join button, join my Refashionista circle so you can access all of the fabulousness over there. That is, of course, for members only, including members only tutorials and behind the scenes with me. And also keep in mind that every Sunday now at 4 p.m. Eastern, I am doing the Refashionista Recharge, and anyone can come. Everyone's invited to come hang out with me for an hour, and we're just going to chat live on my channel. So I hope to see you there this Sunday at 4 p.m. and every Sunday after that as well, because it is loads of fun. And you know what? Let's dive into the tutorials. Okay, so I have 4 eyeballs here, and 3 of them are quite similar, but the red on these 2 is pretty much identical. So I think I'm going to turn these 2 into earrings, then this one into a ring. I mean, how cool is that? And with this last one, because it's a totally different shape and style from the other ones, but it's very bendy. So I think it might make a perfect choker. So now let's go grab my jewelry fixins box here and see what we can dig out. Okay, so this is the box where I keep all of my little bits that I've saved for jewelry making. And so, you know, it's like a bunch of beads. Oh, I have some silk little rosettes here and some more of them. You see they're nicely separated by color. And what am I looking for here? Oh, here's some brooch backs and some more beads and little zippers and stuff I keep in here. You know, zippers that don't really function anymore. I will take them apart and I hold on to them because I make jewelry out of them. And I'll link that tutorial down below for you guys. Oh, here's what I'm looking for. This has all of my little earring bits that I have collected. So we need that to make our earrings. Here is another adorable box that holds more of my jewelry making equipment and tools. And I think we might actually use this silver wire, so I'm going to take that out. But you can see here, I just have, you know, some little pendants and a lot of chains because I save this kind of stuff. If a necklace chain breaks or something, it goes right into my box, so I can use it in the future to make some more jewelry with it. And these here, these are, you know, just regular tools. I don't have fancy jewelry making tools. These are just regular pliers, and for this one I wrapped the handle with lace, and this one is actually pieces of an old necktie that I stitched into handle covers. Okay, so fingers crossed, I think I've come up with a relatively quick and easy and oh so clever idea to attach my earring hooks to these ping pong ball eyeballs here. And for that I'm going to need fire and a pokey implement. So a candle and like a pin or a needle. That's fine. That's all you need. Okay, so what I'm going to do first is pick which side I want to poke into. And I think, let's do here. Yeah, that's good. That looks good. All right. Now I'm going to heat up my needle with my lovely smelling candle. I have a wonderful apple cinnamon wafting up into my nose right now, so that's nice. So let's hope this is actually going to work. So I'm just going to heat this and heat this and heat this, and it looks pretty blackened, so that should be okay. And then, ouch, I'm just going to poke it. Ooh, that went through like butter, like a butter. Oh my goodness, that was too easy. Okay, and just widening the hole a little bit here. All right, so now for my second hole, I want to put it as close to the first one as possible without joining those two. So let's see. And make that one pretty wide-ish as well. I think if I have them, they need to be even a little bit wider, so I'm gonna go do that and then we'll come back. And as always, this video is sponsored by you, because when you leave the word of this video in a comment below, it tells that pesky algorithm to share this video far and wide so we can show more people how easy it is to use what they have to make what they want. And the word of this video is creepy. Okay, so the holes have to be big enough that I can slip the wire through like so, and they both are. So now let's see how I'm going to manage to fishhook this through. So hopefully you guys can see that there. I was successful and I did manage to get my wire through. It only took me 3 tries, which is awesome. So to do that, all I did, like I said, was put it like a little fish hook on the end and then threaded it through both holes. And yeah, it only took me 3 tries. So that's awesome. I thought it was going to be a lot more. Now I'm just going to grab the end here and see if I can pull it through even more. So yes, I can. So I can create my little jump ring loop and then attach my hook. All right, so I have my earring hook here and I'm just gonna pop it over that end and then trim off the excess like so. Makes it easier to work with when you don't have so much. And once I have both of these ends here, and I'm just going to twist them together like so, and then work with it a little bit more, trim off those excess bits, and then my earring is going to be done. And then I'm going to go repeat the whole process with the other eyeball. Okay, so here's an interesting little tidbit that I guess I just accidentally came up with right now. If you leave a little bit of the wire kind of sticking up right here, then when your eyeball is hanging, it does not turn around because this little piece of wire is stopping this from turning. So isn't that cool? Then you don't have to worry about, you know, your eyeball earrings turning to the side or the back. Very, very cool. And again, totally accidental, which that's what a lot of refashioning is actually, is just trying things out and seeing if they work. And when they do, yay! Okay, this one is super self-explanatory and very, very easy. All you need is your ping pong ball eyeball and a plastic ring, and this one is clearly from when my kiddo was little and it just went into the stash. And let's just double check that it fits me. Yes, I can get it on my finger. So all I'm going to do is put a healthy dollop of glue on there, and for best results, try to use a ring that is totally flat like this heart, and then I'm just going to stick this on. And that's it. You're done. Your eyeball ring is complete and ready for action. And I think that is hilariously huge and awesome. Oh, and here's a quick tip. For my hot glue gun mat, this is just one of those super thin plastic cutting boards from the dollar store. This cost me literally $1 for 2 of them, and it's perfect for my hot gluing. So now all I'm left with is this eyeball, which is very, very pliable. And so I was thinking to grab my box of black lace and see if there's anything in here that I can use to make a choker out of it. And so I've already gone through and I have loads of black lace, but this is just a plastic eyeball, and so I don't want to waste any of my pretty black lace creating my Halloween choker. So I think I'm just going to use this rather nice satin kind of twisted up rope lace that I have here. So I've taken it all out now. Now let's grab the glue gun again and put this all together. Okay, so I have found the center of my satin lace here, and I'm just gonna put my eyeball around it. And because it has this excess, I guess it's supposed to be like flesh around here, I'm hoping I can just glue these two pieces together so I can still move and slide the eyeball along the lace if I want to. So let's see if that's gonna work. And I'm just gonna hold that for a little while till it dries, and then we'll see. So that's all stuck down, and I trimmed off the little excess bits, and you see I can still move my lace along the eyeball here. So now we have our choker, the ring, and the earrings. So now, of course, it is time to go try it all on and creepily style it all out. La la! How absolutely gruesomely adorable did this set to come out. Ping pong balls are absolutely awesome. They are so light, like I can't even feel these. I feel them more on my neck than I do hanging from my ears, which is fantastic. And my choker, do you love it? I love it. I absolutely love this. And I just put it in the middle of the lace. And like I said, I can still move anywhere I wanted to, and then wrap the lace around my neck twice and just loosely tied it. Very easy. And of course, the adorable pinky ring. I'm like the gruesome eyeball mafia boss here. Have I got a refashion you can refuse? For this hopefully quick and easy project, you'll need your lace top. Now, this is too small for me. I do recommend, though, using one that fits you, because first I have to upsize this, which of course is going to be the first thing we do in this tutorial. But if you find one that fits you, so much better. Plus, you need your vintage lace round tablecloth. And as I said, this needs upsizing. So I happened to spot these rolls of lace at my local dollar store, and how cool is that? It is pretty much the identical color. So what an awesome score. And I'm going to be using this to upsize this. So let's get going. Alrighty, so I have my shirt inside out, and I noticed something that I think a lot of people who wear traditionally women's type of clothing are going to recognize here. This is a large. It is a large on the tag, but it fits like, you know, a triple extra small. So never, never, never feel bad about your size labels, please, because you know, since about the 1970s, vanity sizing truly is a thing. And I mean, I have stuff in my closet that was marked as double extra small all the way up to double extra large, and it all fits me. So never, ever, ever let a size label make you feel bad. Just cut it out. That's what I do. Just snip it off. Or if it's something that you can actually refashion, like I'm doing with this, I'm making it bigger. If you need to make something smaller, just do it. But never let labels dictate what you can and cannot wear. So because this shirt has an annoying shirred waistband here, I am first going to chop that off. And it also has a lining. Now, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the lining yet. We'll see after the next step. But next, I shall be chopping through the bottom all the way up the side seams and all the way through the seam on the sleeve through the end here. So the entire side is going to be open on both sides. I also chopped off, there was little elastics here, so I chopped those off. And of course, I did also remove that lining. So now we can finally upsize this and then transform it into a dress. So my shirt is totally open on both sides, all the way down through the sleeve cuffs, and here's that lovely lace. So I'm just going to pop it here with the ends together and the right side's facing. And then I'm just going to go ahead and stitch all of this together. And then, of course, stitch this side to the other side of the sleeve. And look at that. I'm going to have about 5 or 6 centimeters of extra space added on both sides. So definitely a very quick and easy upsize to simply add some side panels. So you can see here now the sides are all upsized with that lovely lace. And of course it is both sides. And let's see if I can make this visible for you here. So first I did a straight stitch all the way down, and then, as always, because I don't have a serger to properly finish off the seams, I did a tight wide zigzag because this is pretty delicate and I really want to avoid any pulling or fraying if I can. And that is where this zigzag stitch comes in for extra strength. Okay, so now that my top actually fits, we can grab that groovy tablecloth and attach it to the bottom of the top, and then we will have made ourselves a beautiful, romantic, I guess, porcelain doll style dress. So my tablecloth has this decorative spot right here in the center, which makes it kind of easy to find the center. And if I wanted to, I could just chop this out because, like, that's not really going to do anything, and I can't really stitch that anyway. Plus, it probably is about the size I need it to be, so I can pull it on and off like a skirt. I probably actually need more than that. Who am I kidding? Anyway, but I want to do this properly, so I'm going to show you how to do it properly. But if you have something like this in the center of your tablecloth, why not maybe save yourself some time, give it a go, chop that out, see if you can slip it on and off, and if you can, then move on to the next step. So first I have folded this as evenly as possible in half. Now it is a circle, so it's not perfect, but it'll do. And now I'm going to fold it in half again, trying once again to get it as evenly as I possibly can. And you see you have this lovely triangle point here. And now all we're going to do is chop that off. And everything I do, I just kind of eyeball and guesstimate it. And so I'm going to cut this, try it on, see if it's enough. And if it isn't, I'll just go chop more. So I've tried this on and it's absolutely fine. Now I'm going to grab my shirt. And if we look here, I actually think this is going to match up pretty darn perfectly, which is awesome. So I have both of my pieces here right side out. Now I'm going to take the skirt part and flip it over top of the shirt, so then the right sides will be facing. This is so super simple. And because this is just a round tablecloth and there's literally no seams whatsoever on it, I can match this up however the heck I want because there's nothing that I can use to match it up, right? If there was any kind of side seams, I would be matching those up with the side seams of the top, but there's not. So I'm just going to go now and stitch this together, and then you know what? The dress is going to be done. I thought that this lace dress made the most perfect porcelain doll costume. And just what is our lovely dolly reading to her furry friends there? It is, of course, my rockin' Refashioning 101 book, and it is just packed with absolutely everything that you ever wanted to know about upcycling, refashioning, thrift flipping, all the good stuff in one book. And it is available in ebook form and, of course, the print version over on Amazon. Links will be down below for you. Editing Sheri here, and I just have to show you the most perfect vintage Wednesday Addams-style dress I scored at the thrift shop the other day, and we are going to use this as the inspiration for today's project. For this quick and easy Refashionista embellishing project, all you need is your plain black jumpsuit, blouse, or dress, plus a few vintage white doilies. So because I'm not at all a fan of these kind of rolled up button tab type of sleeves, I am simply going to remove it. And yeah, that's so easy. Just chop this interior tab here, and then I'm just going to remove the exterior button and then repeat it with the other sleeve. So the first thing I'm going to work on here is the collar, and this is a really simple collar, and it's super easy to work with because it doesn't have anything that folds down. There's no buttons. It's going to be super straightforward, which is great. And I've grabbed a round doily, and all I'm going to do is fold it in half. And because I want this to, you know, kind of embellish all the way around, I'm just going to line it up with the edge of the collar here and see how far half of this stretches around. And it appears actually to go pretty much to exactly the middle of the back. So that means when I cut this in half into 2 pieces, I will have a piece for each side of the collar, and each one will be long enough to go from the end of the collar to the middle, which will then give me a nice kind of rounded double edge in the back as well. So let's do that right now. So I have my doily folded fairly evenly in half. I mean, it can't really be perfect because it's handmade and none of the edges are perfectly straight, so it's good enough though. And now I'm just going to chop through that folded edge. So now I have 2 pretty equal pieces. Let's go pin them around the collar. So I'm just going to start at one end and fold that doily to the inside, with the chopped edge, of course, going to the inside. And that looks okay. And now just pin it in place, and then I'm just going to go stitch it on. Very easy. This is such a super simple embellishing technique. Okay, so I have the doily collar on, and it looked pretty good, but I wanted something even more extravagant, so I grabbed my stash of vintage cream colored and white lace, and I took a piece, and it's really stiff, this one, so I thought, hey, let's put it on upside down. And yeah, I just went all around the collar with it, and I think it's going to look pretty cool because it's stiff enough that it's going to stand up on its own. So yeah, I'm super excited for this to be done. So now let's go fancy up those sleeve cuffs. So for the sleeve cuffs, I was initially thinking to use these 2 square doilies and just cut out the center and then pop them over top of the ends of the sleeves, and then it would be kind of like a pointed sleeve cuff, I guess. But then I kind of second guessed myself and thought, no, these are so pretty and they're matching, and I know I want to use them probably for something better in the future. So instead, I grabbed this doily, which actually you can see is stained here. And so what I'm going to do is chop out this centerpiece and just use this part here and stitch it all the way around the sleeve cuffs, and that should give me a really cool looking bell that is going to then match the collar. So let's go do it. So when I'm chopping my doilies up, I always like to cut it as close to the finished edges as possible of the piece that I'm going to be using immediately. And this one, you can see, is so super simple. All I have to do is chop these little knots here, and then I will have this whole nice finished edge to the piece that I'm going to be using. So my centerpiece is chopped out, and I think I'm going to put this in my pile of items to be dyed, and it will be used again in the future, but it will be a cool different color to get rid of these stains here. And now we can attach this part to the sleeves. So first I cut that round piece into 2 equal but separate pieces. So as you can see, I undid the button on the cuff, and I'm going to stitch these on just below the buttonhole because I want this to be kind of free and hanging. I do not want it to be attached to the full sleeve here. And I'm just going to fold one of the edges around the edge of the sleeve there, and then just go stitch it all the way around. Okay, my sleeve cuffs are done, and they look really, really awesome, actually. To finish off the chopped edges here of the doilies, I just folded it in and carefully did a tight zigzag, and that should really help to prevent fraying, which I'm sure could happen because it's the chopped edge of a doily. Anyway, so my collar is done, my cuffs are done, and you know, I could be done, but I don't want to be done yet because these buttons here just are not doing it for me. So I think it's time to have a look through my vintage button stash, and let's find some that are gonna look cool with all of these doily additions. So these buttons are way too big, but I just wanted to share with you this very, very cool little, I guess, button packaging. This is actually from the 1950s and clearly from Germany because the brand name is Koch und Hochwald, and I actually got them when I lived in Germany. But how cool is this? So the buttons are all kind of on, on this little, these little, I don't know, almost like fork tines here. And yeah, then that's how you store them. And how cool is that? That is so awesome. And I mean, I just think they absolutely should still make these kind of things nowadays, don't you think? But they don't. You know, everything comes in awful plastic packaging, but look how compact this is, and clearly it has lasted for what, 60, 70 years? So I think something was done right with these buttons and this packaging back in the day. So I managed to find 6 buttons in my stash that are all identical, and they're pretty much the exact same size as these original buttons. So I'm gonna go stitch them on, and then we can try it on and style it up. This, I mean, again, another one that came out so much better than I thought it was going to. And I am so happy that I decided to add this extra lace here up on the top, and my hair kind of pushes it down, but I think if I added a really cool brooch here, it would, first of all, keep this closed if I wanted it closed ever, and it would look really kind of Victorian chic, if you will. For this hopefully quick and easy project, all you need are 3 pillowcases, or as many pillowcases as you think you'll need to wrap around your body, and they should coordinate well together. I realize this is an awful lot of pattern mixing going on here, but they all look so cool together, and all the pinks are very, very close. So I think it's going to be a success. And of course, you need your sewing gear. So you can see here, I have all of my pillowcases lined up together, and that is so I can hold them up to myself and see which one actually is the longest, because that's the one I'm going to use for the main body portion of my awesomely cutie patootie sweetie petite dress. So I've taken my main body pillowcase and flipped it inside out, and then I folded it in half pretty evenly. It doesn't have to be super perfect, but it's pretty even. And now I'm just going to take my scissors and chop out this folded corner here to create a head hole. Okay, so you can see I got my head through fine. The head hole is the perfect size, but this is most certainly not going to fit over my body whatsoever. So I have to go upsize this pillowcase with another pillowcase so I can slip it on over my body. Okay, so I have opened up both sides of my main body piece. My head hole is perfectly centered, so that is lovely. And now I'm just going to pop it on so I can figure out how big I need to make my side panels. So now that I have it on, it appears I have unintentionally created a very, very attractive apron or smock type of garment. But yeah, this definitely needs to have something on the side seams. And again, I'm wearing really, really baggy clothes right now, but I don't really think I'm gonna need too much for my side panel. So I've already decided I want to use this one for my side panels, And I think I can just fold it in half, and that's going to give me more than enough space so I can get this on and off over my head, plus, you know, make it fit me way nicer. So let's go make this into side panels. So to create my side panels, first I simply chopped my pillowcase into 2 pieces. And then I chopped one of those pieces into 2 more pieces. And I hemmed up the raw edge on one side. And luckily, this edge here was already hemmed up, because whenever I can use pre-finished sides and edges, I absolutely do that. So as you can see, I have my body piece laid flat with the right side facing up, and I have one of my side pieces laid on top of it with the right side facing down. So that way, when everything is flipped right side out, everything will be facing the right way. Also, I did leave space here so I can add my sleeves later. So this is like the shoulder seam of my soon-to-be dress, and I made sure to leave enough so I can insert my sleeves. And there I have the lovely finished edges together. Now I'm just gonna go stitch this here. So I just want to make sure that this is understandable for everyone. So now you can see I have one of my side panels stitched on, and then when I fold the other side of my dress over top of that existing side panel, it's going to look like this. And then all I have to do is stitch this edge to the open edge of the side panel, and one of my side panels will be done. And then I'm going to do the whole thing on the other side of the dress. La la! This is now way too big for me. So I'm going to go take the sides in just a little bit. I'm just going to do 2 really quick straight seams straight down the center of each of these side panels. So it's not quite so big on me, but you can definitely see how side panels can really easily upsize just about anything. So you can see here that I just did a really quick and easy straight stitch, then zigzagged over the top of that, and then I used my pinking shears to trim off the excess fabric to help prevent fraying. So now let's move on to creating the sleeves. So just like I did when I created my side panels, I grabbed my rainbow pillowcase and I chopped it into 2 pieces. And then I'm simply going to fold each piece lengthwise with the right sides facing, and then stitch those raw length edges together to create my 2 sleeve tubes. And I now have 2 lovely rainbow sleeve tubes, and I have them right side out, so now I can easily pop them into my inside out dress. And then, as always, the right sides will be facing, and I'm just going to line up this bottom seam here on the sleeve with my lovely little side seam that I created, and shake everything down. And look, that is a perfect match. I really love eyeballing it. And again, I love it so much that I designed a bunch of t-shirts and stuff. If you want to, yeah, get your own Just Eyeball It merch. Anyway, so now I'm just gonna go stitch all of this together and repeat it on the other side. The sleeves are absolutely perfect, and I then went ahead and used some of the remaining scraps from each of the pillowcases, and I created some bias binding, and I bound up the sleeve cuffs and the neckline and even the bottom hem. So now we can finally go and try it on and style it up. You see what I mean? This is absolute Halloween clowny ragdoll perfection. It is so great with my very easy DIY yarn wig, which I made years ago, and it's still going strong. I shall, of course, put the tutorial down below for you guys. And this makeup, this fantastic ragdoll makeup. I just used makeup that I already had. Like, this is just normal makeup. It's so easy to do. You're just kind of drawing on a ragdoll face. So simple, so simple. This is so cute. I mean, really, you don't get any cuter than this. It is definitely giving me Raggedy Ann's cousin, I think. Speaking of Raggedy Ann, did you know Raggedy Ann actually had a brother named Andy? And I have had these Raggedy Ann and Andy dolls forever, for decades, since I was a child. And they are very awesome, very vintage, and also very handmade. And it's just, you know, a couple of my precious things. So you see, anybody can do this. If I can do this, you can do this. We can all use what we have to make what we want. I just showed you some more things to do. And of course, on my blog, on my channel, in my books, in my courses, I show you even more stuff to do, because I truly believe this is so simple. You do not have to have a degree in fashion design. I frigging don't. Again, I taught myself how to do this when I was 38. So for sure I can teach you. You see how easy it is. You see how fun it is. You just have to stop putting yourself in a little box. Do out of the box thinking. That's my entire life, right? Is thinking out of the box. And that's why I do what I do, because I can't do anything else, to be honest with you. I cannot have a normal job because I just can't follow rules. As you see, I kind of just make things however the heck I want to make things. There's clouds going over the sun. Sorry, it's getting darker. It's getting spookier, right? Because we are in the fall, Halloween time. Anyway. As I was saying, what was I saying? Yes, if I can do this, you can do this. And I know you're going to get sick of hearing that, but I'm going to keep saying that until more and more people are using what they have to make what they want, and proudly letting me know in the comments the things that they made that week. I love hearing about my tutorials that you've tried, whether they're successes or not. You know, I share my failures all the time on my channel, and I think that's really good, because I'm not perfect at all. Perfection is the enemy of good enough. And if my seams are wonky on the inside, I don't care, because do you know who sees them? I see them. And if anybody is seeing the interior seams, they're either very close with me, or something terrible is happening to me. And I think in either case, they don't care either, right? Anyway, please do hit that join button. Join my Refashionista circle for members only tutorials and so much more. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and I'll catch ya on the zigzag. Oh yeah, see? Here is a member perk right here. Your name in my videos. And don't forget that every Sunday at 4 p.m. we have the Refashionista Recharge, 4 p.m. Eastern Time on my channel.
This is Confessions of a Refashionista.